And welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. My name is Chris, bringing it to you here from Westlake Village, California, where it's bright and sunny and another beautiful day out here. Got a lot to talk about today. Besides Bitcoin's price action, we're going to take a look at some of the Bitcoin news. We'll jump into that first here. First things first, the SEC is probing Binance over its BNB token. This was announced yesterday. And rumor has it why the market kind of sold off towards the end of the day. But it says the SEC is reportedly opening an investigation into Binance over the 2017 initial coin offering of its BNB token. According to Bloomberg, the agency said they'll be examining whether the token's offering constitutes a security sale. Same issue that Ripple had. I would, keep an eye on that if you are a BNB holder. Lawsuit didn't fare well for Mr. Ripple over the past few months. Another really interesting article on Finbold. It says Octagon Networks is the first cybersecurity firm to convert its entire balance sheet to Bitcoin. Yep. So this is just one cybersecurity firm, which is among the growing number of companies taking the leap of integrating cryptocurrencies into their business operations as digital assets gain popularity and widespread acceptance as a valid alternative to traditional assets. Specifically, Octagon Network said, we will start accepting payments in Bitcoin and offering a discount to encourage the use of Bitcoin. Notably, that's a 50% discount if you pay with Bitcoin. And so I thought that was pretty cool. Another one here, Ethereum NFT game Illuvium sells over $72 million in digital land plots. So Illuvium, an upcoming Ethereum-based role-playing game, sold more than $72 million worth of digital land plots as NFTs during a sale at the end of Sunday. Again, the NFTs, it's a proven blockchain system that shows ownership of digital assets. We're just going to continue to hear more and more of NFT adoption in the space. So that's the news for today. Just going to jump into Bitcoin's price action, throw it up on the daily. We had a pretty nice downwards move here from the highs, and let me straighten this up just a little bit. So we did talk about yesterday Bitcoin essentially being in this range on the daily time frame between 32 to the upside and call it 29 to the downside. And a break of that range is likely going to give us the next, 25-30% move to the upside or to the downside. Right now, we've got, just more lower highs. We are holding the lower low structure here. And it looks like we almost did want to kind of tag that trend line. Let's see if we could draw it out even a little better. Would something like that work? Yes, indeed. So it's been one of these markets where, every day we just kind of do the opposite. So big red day today, probably a big green day tomorrow. That's no trading plan, but just something I've been noticing on the daily time frame. And momentum will cross back to the upside. With a closure today above 30,236. So that is the big question right now. Is this 4-hour rally going to be just a little pump fake bull trap? And how would we know that? Well, the 618 is coming in directly at 30,818. So as long as we are still below 30,818, I am still going to be a bit biased to the downside. However, I'm getting a little upside bias based on this dollar here, which is coming down on the 4-hour time frame, and we are playing out a few drives of hidden bearish divergence, which is, again, price is making lower highs, RSI is making higher highs. So we got 1, 2, 3 drives, and that should give you a drive down, to the green 55 here at 102, if not the bottom side of the range here. So I'm going to mark this trend line off here for the dollar, and I do believe, if this wants to break to the downside, that will give Bitcoin the relief to probably bounce up and fill the gap at that, $34,000, $35,000 range coming in right here. And it is a little bit easier to see on the CMEs. On the 4-hour time frame, do we have any hidden bullish divergence? So price is making higher lows, RSI is making lower lows. No. So we don't have any bullish divergence. Bearish divergence did play out. And so is this going to be another lower high or not is kind of the question in the making right now. 4-hour Stokes will cross up here in the next hour and 44 minutes on CMEs above 30,200. If we did see that happen, that would probably look good for at least a test back up to the top side of the range, something like this. And I imagine these trend lines are probably going to hold on CMEs as well, which is something like this. So we're getting pivoted into this kind of horizontal triangle here, and let's just take a look at what the measure move would be. From the center, if we break at about 75% full, coming in right there. So that would give you the measure move up to about 34,000 and probably a little bit continuation from there. And this would give you a measure move down to about 26.8, back to the bottom side of the range there. So I'd be aware of that on CMEs. What else do we have on the daily time frame? Volatility is just beginning to tick up as we're making in some of these lower highs. There is a little gap down here as well. I think that might want to get filled. I saw it on the hourly time frame. And no, the gap already did get filled, excuse me. That was the gap yesterday I was looking to get filled. I did get filled on that gap. Gap got filled, tested, and, kind of acting as support now, and we're bouncing it back up. Volatility is expanding. The hourly looks like it wants to go for another leg higher, perhaps up to the 618, if we're not already there. Yeah, 618 coming in at 30,615 on CMEs. So I imagine a couple things coming up on Friday morning. We'll have those inflation numbers out from the Fed. So that's coming up this week. Got to keep an eye out for that. And let's just take a look at NASDAQ, which is back above, back above 12,500. Positive for the day, about a half a point, and we're still in this 4-hour consolidation, putting in some lower highs and some lower lows on the 4-hour. So I would imagine that if we do put in another lower high, we'll probably get more of the same and come back down and get another little lower low. So if we do see Stokes cross down with a 4-hour closure below 12,643 coming up in the next 45 minutes, that would actually look good for Bitcoin kind of failing at the 618 and rolling back down at least to the 382, which is coming in right here at 30,200. So, what does Bitcoin do in the short term? Maybe we get a little bounce up to the 618 and then come back down and make a higher low and then give us a shot higher. But if we start breaking back, below this pivot on the hourly time frame, coming in at 29,850, then I would look for probably the downside targets to start to get hit. I don't know if that's going to be helpful for anybody out there on Mr. Bitcoin. I think generally people just want to know, where we at in the macro cycle. And we did put in, 9 straight weeks of red, and a lot of people saying, hey, look, now is probably the time we get a little bit of a bounce, a little bit of a relief rally. And, that could come along. NASDAQ doing the same thing on the weekly time frame. If NASDAQ can, essentially just hold above this pivot at 12,500. I would be looking for another little try higher, but the bounce may have already kind of played out here. Retesting support here at 13,200 would be completely okay. What else do we want to take a look at? NASDAQ, S&P doing the same thing. How about we take a look at some altcoins on the daily time frame? Bear with me. Avalanche here has been in a heavy downtrend, kind of one of the weaker ones. But again, everybody kind of looks like Bitcoin, putting in this big bearish candle for the day with some volume. How do we confirm this as a local high? We'd have to close below that low, and that would make it a local high, and possibly some continuation. But it looks like the market is bouncing here. How about on the 4-hour? Momentum is to the downside, and we don't have any bullish divergence playing out yet, or maybe one drive, so that gives you a move to the 21. So I am expecting this bounce essentially to be anemic, unless Bitcoin can really start to pour in some volume on the CMEs. We got an hour 39 left. And, if this acts as resistance for the 4 hours, somewhere right in this range. Other than that, back above here on the 4 hour, we're looking to test back to the top side of the range, probably 31.5 to 32,000. Let's take a look at Ethereum, still coming in at about 1,800 bucks. Ethereum, is going to do whatever Bitcoin does, but more. And I would say, a daily closure back above 1,900, probably going to get us back to the top side of the range at 2,200. How's Mr. Sand? Sand did have a kind of a breakdown out of this ascending triangle, giving us a nice little target down to about 111 if we have a measured move on this. But I imagine, again, this guy's going to do whatever Bitcoin does, but more. And yeah, that target all the way down here at 113 gets invalidated with a daily closure back above 136. Okay, I think that's going to be it for today, guys. Don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe. If you do want to put Bitcoin or any cryptos in your IRA, we do have a link in the description below. Free, safe, easy way to get started with a crypto IRA. We look forward to hearing from you. Have a blessed day. Take care.